although he was a very bright guy himself, he was accepted to Harvard and Yale, but didn't have the money. He was from, I believe, San Gabriel, California, down by Los Angeles. A pathological liar, but was actually accepted to Harvard and Yale. His family just didn't have the money to send him, so he got a full ride to Whittier College, then went on to do law. But anyways, so in 1960 rolls around, Kennedy rouses the Democratic Party. He's young, he's good-looking, he's supposedly smart. Some people say Kennedy was an intellectual lightweight. I'm a big fan of the man, so I think he was just brilliant. Nonetheless, gets the nomination over Lyndon Johnson. Now, the night of his nomination, Bobby really pissed off LBJ, and that was kind of the start of the enmity between the Kennedys and Lyndon Baines Johnson, who, were it not for his dislike of the Kennedys, I would think was just the man. Johnson, famous as a networker, there's this story that when he was first elected to the House of Representatives, by the way, Lyndon Johnson, one of the very few people, I think that Harry Truman is the only other one that I know of, again, double check me on this, to serve in all 4 federally elected offices. That's House Representative, Senator, Vice President, President. But when he was first elected to the House of Representatives, there was a boarding house. It was very popular among freshmen congressmen. Lyndon Johnson was spending the night there, his first night, and it said that he brushed his teeth at least 5 or 6 times, took 3 or 4 showers, and shaved twice. Because every time he would hear it was a communal bathroom, and every time he would hear the bathroom door open, he would go in and just socialize, just network. Say, hey, I'm Lyndon Johnson from Texas, how y'all doing? So anyways, Kennedy's elected president in television debates, you all know that story. Kennedy, it was a gray backdrop. Kennedy shows up, fresh from a vacation, looking tan, dapper, fit, blue suit. Against the gray background, he stands out. And Nixon just had, I believe, knee surgery. Could have been ankle, but something with a leg. Nonetheless, he's looking pale, he's a little bit sweaty. Kennedy wore makeup. You have to do it on TV. You just have to. Nixon insisted on not doing it. So Nixon gets up there, he looks pale, he looks sweaty, he looks kind of fidgety, beady-eyed. Kennedy is young, he's vibrant, he's making friends, he's just telegenic. Nixon, gray suit, just blends into the backdrop. Looks like a sociopath, which he was. Nonetheless, Nixon comes out, and y'all know the story. People who watched the debates thought that Kennedy won. People who listened to the debates on the radio thought that Nixon won. And Nixon said, oh, well, sure, the televised debates can move the polls, but only a point or 2. Nixon lost by a point or 2. Came down to Illinois, the Chicago machine. It's a conspiracy theory thing, but anyways, but that's not tucked in enough. Sorry, it's bothering me. It should be tucked in more. No, don't trouble yourself. There we go. I'm done properly now. Anyways, this is still a shit show. I don't know what that is. Jesus Christ. What is this?
Oh my god, it's Cammy's out.
Oh god. I think I need a wooden stake or a silver bullet or something. Some garlic. Soul-sucking. Anyways. So Kennedy's elected, gives his inaugural address. It was a cold January morning, wore top hat and tails, of course, because those were the times. I think we should return to them. And he sweeps into office. Lyndon Johnson, his vice president, Bobby, his AG, never had the Attorney General wielded so much power in the West Wing, and probably hasn't since then. There's just this implicit trust between them. Brothers, of course, it makes sense. In any case, just sweeping policy agenda, civil rights, women's rights, escalation in Vietnam, Cuba, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Although Ted Sorensen played quite a role in that. I also glossed over JFK writing Profiles in Courage. It was really Ted Sorensen, but in any case, wow. What time is it? 10:15. Okay. So I've been going for about an hour now. Good. Feeling good. According to that online course that we had to take before they got here. I'm doing everything wrong. In any case, comes into office. That people felt that he wasn't doing enough for women's rights, so they started this Pens for Jack campaign, so he could sign some sort of legislation for sort of equal rights for women, which I think is horseshit because he started the Commission on the Position of Women in America. And I once quipped in my AP US history class that Jack Kennedy didn't need help determining the position of women. Didn't get in trouble for it because it's just a little witticism. You all should write that down. It's a great word, by the way, witticism. Probably working into conversation. What's the word? Assonance? Assonance? Sure. Okay. Tomato, tomato. But nonetheless, the assonance of the word is outside witticism. There's 3 sounds. There's 2 C's and an S. It's outstanding as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, moving on. Of course, the Bay of Pigs, just a massive failure. He listened to too many just hawkish people from the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Of course, at this time, John F. Kennedy, famous for walking around backstage, when he would do his press conferences, just hunched over because his back was just so blown out that he just couldn't stand up straight. By the way, one of the greatest trends in American men's fashion, the 2-button suit, really ushered in by JFK because the tighter 3-button suit didn't allow for him to discreetly wear his back brace. Anyways, so he wears 2-button suits, little slim ties. JFK, by the way, a fan of Brooks Brothers suits and shirts. I came very, very close. I really had to talk myself off the ledge from buying a custom-made Brooks Brothers shirt last night. I decided not to. But seriously, if y'all ever have a chance, do it. Because it's awesome. You can choose the style of collar you want, the style of cuff you want, how many buttons you want, the fabric you want, the color of the collar and cuff. You can choose if you want it monogrammed, if so, which style and which color. Really recommend it. I'm going to do it next month, probably. But I had to talk myself off that ledge this month. Anyways, just a little tags on this. Famous story. One day, John F. Kennedy, it's about 4:35 p.m. in the evening. I just said p.m. in the evening, which is a little redundant, but anyway. Calls Pierre Salinger, his press secretary, to his office, says, Pierre, I'm going to need you to get me some cigars. Now, they were both cigar men, Pierre and Jack, as it were. And Pierre said, yeah, sure, no problem. How many do you need? He goes, about 1,000, maybe 1,500. I need between 1,000 and 1,500 Upman Petite cigarettes, and I'm going to need those by 8 a.m. tomorrow. Salinger's eyes just as big as dinner plates. Where the hell am I going to get these for the president? Shit, cable called. Shit, I mean, he starts placing calls. Can I move here, by the way? He's placing all these calls. Next morning, comes into the president's office, the Oval Office, as you all know it. He says, all right, President Kennedy, 1,200 Upman Petite cigarettes. These are all I could get. We bought everything in Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. Nothing. Giving credit where credit's due. That's gotta be Cam Dog. Tell me to keep quiet. I'm giving the history of John F. Kennedy's life. We're up to where he asked Pierre Salinger to buy him 1,000 cigars.
Okay.
Come here.